contestants come up and kind of line up in the order that they spoke. Okay, now we're going to walk this way. Our first contestant today, a few questions. First, what division are you representing?
Division B.
All right. And your club, area?
Charter Oak Toastmasters 931.
And you know your area? Okay.
I almost passed. I got this B. I thought, no. Okay, yes, he knows what he said.
So we're going to stay with the area and everything else. And one other question, how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I just passed my 5-year anniversary. You'd think I know by now where I fit in, but that's what, I always have really smart people here to tell me, so I take that for granted.
Yes. And something that got to me, what was the impetus of this talk? Where did this come out of? Do you have any idea what you were doing up here?
It just starts to build, you know, you get one little idea and it's kind of like making a snowman. All of a sudden it becomes a speech.
Fantastic. And I see some of your interests are flower shows and traveling. Do you combine the two?
Well, I am a flower show groupie. This year I traveled to Philadelphia and checked out the biggest flower show in North America, but I always go to Boston and Hartford with my mother. I'm lucky enough to have a mother that loves flowers and doesn't mind traveling to see them. So.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. And our next.
Thank you.
If I could get the division you're representing?
I am representing Division E, I think.
Sounds good to me.
I have no idea. Just like our last person. I know I represent club number 5716, Mass Mutual Speakers.
Okay. And how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I'm also coming up on my 5-year.
Fantastic. And the same question, I think. You know, what was the impetus of this speech? Where did this come out of?
I think all good tall tales start with a kernel of truth. So I do lie to my nephews frequently, often, and daily. They know I'm lying, so it's kind of one of those, oh, silly Uncle Brian's, but it started with that actually this particular one started as an advanced communicator project. So it's for the moral of the story. I started talking about how my uncle's is actually a very prestigious man. He's a video game developer for Atari and for Macintosh. And how when I became an uncle, I was this kind of loser person who didn't really have anything going on with my life, so I felt like I was inadequate. So I had to make up these stories toward my nephew so that I could feel like I could inspire him like my uncle had not inspired me successfully. And then the very end of the speech, I talk about how you don't have to be a famous person to be a great uncle, you just have to be able to make your nephew smile. So that was the moral of the story, and so for a tall tale, I said, okay, let's take out the moral and just make it funnier.
Fantastic. And one last thing, any hobbies, interests, anything you'd like to do?
No, I left my paper blank.
Okay. So with that, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And again, Walter, what division are you representing?
Division F.
And your club?
Taconic Toastmasters.
Okay. And how long have you been a Toastmaster?
3 months.
Plus?
17 years.
3 months. 5 hours, I see, and 22 minutes. Okay. And again, what was the impetus of your lofty speech?
I had this horrible thought, what would happen if God retired? And then I came up with a solution. I have to hire someone else to do the job. Who could that be? And you know, since people have heard about my speech, they have been so nice to me. Because they know I'm in the running.
And you gave a convincing presentation there. So. And one thing that I know is more than just a hobby, and that is your hot air ballooning. Anything you'd like to tell us about the joys of hot air ballooning?
The joy of hot air ballooning is everybody gets high and it's legal.
In most states too.
That's right.
Well, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job. So Greg, again, your division?
Division C.
All right, and your club?
B. What? Somebody? Gardner B. Thank you. Gardner Toastmasters.
Gardner Toastmasters.
Yes.
And how long have you been a Toastmaster?
Just over 2 years.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And pretty much I'm going to stick with the constant. What was the impetus of this speech?
Well,
This big tale.
I really wanted to tell a story that could maybe be true. And then start to weave it into maybe a more surreal place. And that's the space I really wanted to play with. In fact, a lot of what I shared was true. I mean, the images, the people, the events, of course the accident, there's more details to that I can share with you all later. But so I really wanted to do something where there was truth and then there was fiction. Yeah.
Fantastic. And we were going to have to figure out what part was fiction, right?
That's right. You all discuss
It's
amongst
gonna be
yourselves
hard.
and figure that out.
Yeah, we'll have a meet together at the end of the conference.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll have a vote. Okay. One other thing you put down in your interest in hobbies is animation and painting. Where
That's
does it
right.
come from?
Well, my mother was a painter. She was self-taught. She was really great. She had this very strange way of painting. Does anybody draw here? If you draw, very often, if you study drawing, they'll teach you how, say, like the figure, they'll teach you how to create masses and see the masses, rough them in, and then go back and do detail. My mother used to paint these incredible landscapes from the top of the canvas all the way down to the bottom. And she just used her eye, but she's very talented and really influenced me. And I used to like to draw with her, and so it became a very important part of my life.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for being here. And I don't have a bio for you, so you can tell me anything you want. But first of all, what division are you representing?
I'm assuming I think it's Division A, I think, but I'm not sure.
Everybody sure? We haven't used that letter yet, actually.
Yeah. Amy's outside, so I'd have to ask
What
her.
club
But
are you in?
I'm part of BI Toastmasters.
A.
Hey,
A.
Canadian club. And how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I've been a Toastmaster for 7 years now, but I'm still on speech number 8, so I'm a little slow. I haven't finished my CC yet.
All right, well, no, 1 year.
Yeah.
You can retire in Toastmaster when you're 18. And a little bit of the impetus of your speech. Where did that come from?
I like to travel a lot, and I'm a big San Francisco 49ers fan, so I love the city, and just that was sort of like the inspiration for my speech, where it started off at. And, I had competed a couple years ago in the St. Tall Tales contest, and like the location for me is the big thing. So.
Fantastic. And any interest, anything you really get into that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, so recently, as of the beginning of this year, I actually started getting into comic books because I was never really into comic books at the beginning of the year. So I've been starting to read Batman, and that's sort of how the Incredible Hulk sort of got into the story. But it's a hobby, something to keep in mind with all the normal things.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. And then, what division you're representing?
I am representing Division C.
Okay, the Spanish district.
Si, senor.
And your club?
Club is 3M Innovators, number 3003765. We are just over 1 year old.
And that makes you how long of a Toastmaster?
Just over 1 year.
And a little bit about what started this speech.
Well, there is a great amount of truth actually in my speech. As my honey there will attest, we rafted the Deerfield in August of 2008. I went in the river, I lost one of those shoes, and I did get it back. And by the way, the safety talk, word for word, that is what a river guide will tell you. And by the way, every word they say is a lie.
There you go. And you have several interests, but it seems to be very outdoorsy, is it?
Oh yeah, that's me.
Just can't stay in the house?
Well, you know, the cat would prefer it if I stayed in the house all day long and just pet her continuously, but we do get outside a lot. In our great state of Connecticut, which has wonderful state parks and hiking trails.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I bet you know my first question. Division,
Division G,
and what club are you representing?
lunchtime Toastmasters,
Okay. And how long have you been a Toastmaster?
since March.
March.
Oh.
And what was the impetus of this story?
Well, what happened to me in China, I mean, I have the scar in my arm still.
Really?
Because of the monkey bite, yeah. It was a wild monkey. Yeah,
Most are.
it seemed, yeah.
And you still are loving bananas, I take it.
Pardon?
You still love bananas. And I'm looking at this, and it's pretty much the same question. You did bring an interest. Well, actually, you do have an interest. It's you're exercising in music and recording, which I think the music
Reading.
Reading. Oh yes.
I can read.
So anything that you would like to say, that's my favorite. If given any of these three, which one would you want to do?
I like hiking, reading a book that inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
Music, good music also.
Yeah, so you put on the tunes on the music, you go out and you read while you're
Sometimes.
Well, I thank you for participating.